Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 74th edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I will tell you that the market globally again is still slightly in green this hour. But without saying anything further, I will say no matter where you are trading and the instrument you are trading, don't forget to use your stop loss. Follow your trade. I mean, trade your plan. It is very necessary because the market oscillating up and down and even pulling back. You need all this to guide you so that when you have your stop loss intact with you, you know your entering and your exit strategy. I will tell you, you will be thrown up and down by the market direction. But when all these are not there, it becomes a big problem for you to know exactly what to do when you are taking position or when you are trying to sell off your position. That is why I always emphasize on this your word stop loss, trade your plan, use your technical tools to manage your risk. That is why managing your risk, you need to know how to use your support level and your resistance level at any given time. Draw your trend line as at when you, so that at the end of the day, you will be in a better position to know exactly what is going on in the market. But when you are not using all this, it becomes something else to you because you don't understand what is happening in the market. But that is not what you should do at this time. Know exactly what is happening in the market so that you know what to do for any given time. But when you don't have all this, it becomes a big problem for you to know exactly what to do. But before we go further, I want to tell you the state of the market. I just said the market is slightly in green, but I will tell you there's a major factors in the matured market that is driving the market up and down. Today we are seeing it open just slightly in the green, especially in US market. I see them also in Europe, missed the up and down trend we are seeing over there. But the major forces behind it is that crude oil price is still oscillating, but now we have pulled back to around the 113.7 dollar per barrel. After within the week, I touched as high as what 123.8 this week before pulling back. And this as a result of what the speculation of Saudi Arabia was increasing production, ahead of the meeting of OPEC today. And don't forget that also at the same time that as US and some EU consumers are also planning to have what we call oil consumers cartel to keep prices of oil down. These are the things that are influencing the price of oil at this hour. But I will tell you that as far that what is happening in Russia and Ukraine remain, I will tell you that this oscillation will be there. But the good thing is that as far oil price remain above $100, I'll tell you it's a plus for oil producing economy or countries. Let me put that way. But for now, I would say it's a good news to Nigeria for us that oil price have remained above this $100, which is above our benchmark for 2022 budget. But another thing that is exciting now that we Nigerians will also be happy if we can maintain this improved production we are seeing and meet our target as assigned to us by OPEC. As we speak now, we've added about 70,000 barrel per day, to our output, which is good. And this also help economy to find a direction, and also help the central bank to manage the FS market and all those stuff. But it's a good one. But if we can still double it and get to that, will help us to sustain the economy. That is why when the World Bank was saying that yes, your economy and my economy, Nigeria, will look up this year from the previous forecast about 3.4. These are what they are saying that as far oil price went up, it will be a plus. But if we're able to meet our production, even surpass, that will be additional plus for our market, and that is a good thing for us. As I was saying that in matured market, just as also we are in Nigeria, we're all looking ahead to see the to see the what we call purchasing manager index and the consumer price index, which is inflation. Also in US market, I'll tell you that as the figures that came or data that came from this what we call NPR and the employment data over there are saying that yes, they are not pointing to recession. Don't forget that globally the fear is paramount about what recession. But this figure that came recently is pointing that there's no recession coming if all the moves that are taken by EU leaders that the peace in Ukraine and Russia, they can negotiate and put that. It's a sign that yes, that means that fear across the globe of Concern for recession is also coming down. Gradually, you can see a little breathe out here. As an investor, I will always say when investing in stock market, always approach it with what? Approach it as what? As a market of stock, as a market of stocks where there is good and bad stock. Why I say so, regardless of the environment where whether you are trading in US, you just approach investing, especially when you are trading stock, approach that you as a what? As a market of stocks. That means in that case, there are some stocks that are good and some that are bad because there are always stocks showing leadership, and they're trending up in any market condition. If you approach stock market that way, you can able to identify those stocks that you can position on time by identifying these stocks, in any market condition. Once it's done, I'm telling you, you are going to become a winner and you can make money with that because stocks are going up in that environment. That means you are trading with what? With your price action, knowing stock to looking at the sectors, knowing stock to play. Once you have done that, you are good to go. Also, the same as what when you are when you are into weak stock. Weak stocks are there in every market, and when that market is going up, there are some stocks that are weak. That means you need to balance your strategy when you are picking stock. When you approach market as what is market for stocks, and you are picking it, that is the point. When you are trading as if you are doing something that you are no, you need to approach the market, with that mind of what? That market of stocks. These are there. You can now pick the good ones, and that is where your fundamental will also come in to help you to pick them. Your technicals will also guide you to know exactly what to do when you are investing. Just like as I said yesterday, before I go into the market news, I want to quickly look at the 4 things that you need to know or will happen when market is about to what? To top. When I mean top, market is about to also to pull back. Yesterday we were talking of when market is about what? To bottom out. But today we're looking at when market is about what? To pull back. What are the 4 things that you look at that will happen? Because I said that stock market is what? Is or financial market is what? Is forward looking. Since it's forward looking, there are indicators that will give you sign on time for you to know that something is about to happen. But when you ignore these indicators or these technical tools, you become a prey to the market. That means you are not following the market course. You are not seeing the sentiment or the psychology behind the market. Like I said, those 4 things you need to know when the market is about to talk about. One, you must see that the market has gotten to what we call overbought region. That's the first thing you need to know that here something is about to happen. This is the first thing for you to identify that this market is about to what? To turn up or down because you need to know where the market is at that particular time. Once you're able to know that, you are good to go. That is the first thing that you know because this is the first stage of the market for you to know that market is about to what? To top down or the market is about to turn, that means it's about to correct. You must also notice that look at your indicators to tell you that this sign the market is about overbought region. Another one you need to see that there must be pullback. Pullback or correction, anything you call it profit taking, you must experience it. That is the what you see. Yesterday, no, I think at this stage we look at rally, but yesterday talk about what overbought. But today we're talking of what talk about food yesterday, but today we're talking about overboard. This is what signs to say that the market is about to top. That means the market to correct. You must start what overbought region. Then after that overbought, you can see pullback, price correction, profit taking will follow. These are another different stage in it because it's cyclical. This is a cycle that we also notice in the market. That stage of what profit taking is very, very important. Pullback, you see intermittent pulling back up and down. Yes, most time when market pullback, it has strength to the rally to continue, but you need to open your eyes and see. After that pullback, you need to see what is what they retest. If it retested, as market retested kind of the top, like I said, there's difference between new highs and what top. Is market making new highs? Yes, there's also no. As it tested those new highs and come back, that means when it tested those new highs and come back, it's not sending you a signal. And you need to know whether it has tested the most popular or the most strong resistance level before. These are the things to look at when you are looking at. Then the last one that you need to see are stocks at that level. How many stocks are gaining? Are they few stocks that are gaining? Which sectors is driving the market? Is it only one sector or 4 sectors? That's it. I say when it is increasing number of sectors that are driving the rally, then that yes, but when you see that at that top only few stocks are going up, and also at that time only few sectors are going up, it is time for you to know that the market is about what to top, it's about what to correct. These are the 4 things that you should know when you are trading. Because I would say that market has life. Like in technical analysis, we have what we call accumulation stage, what we call a markup phase, distribution phase, and the decline phase. At this phase, there are different strategies to trade this kind of phases in the tech analysis in the market. Because even in individual stock, because you need to know what is happening at that particular time to know exactly how to trade. That's why These are very important for us to know. Yes, people can now go to see the market news in our local market, what is happening. Then before we now look at the stocks and the market to go with. Let's look at the what is happening, the news in the market as we speak now. These news are very important. Let's look at them. The news here one, the first news here is that no Nestle they notify the exchange of what of insider dealing. If you are following us in this market and following us in Investdata, I've been intimating you, kind of informing you about this thing. This and a kind of a habit that has been in the market for 2 years now, consistent that the major shareholders or the majority shareholder in Nestle are continually acquiring this stock. That means the day this stock will move, yes, it might still go the way of Airtel, but I'm telling you, at this stage, even between this 1,300 and 1,400 and something, they've been accumulating for almost 2 years. Yeah, yesterday again, they notified the market of about 590 units that was the buy position at 1,399.99. They are still buying position before for you to have an idea what is happening. And also, Stanbic IBTC notified the market of the close period for what for their half year audited account have been for period ended June 30th, 2022. That means looking forward. That is for this month. They're not likely to come to the market around August. I just notifying us. And also, Multiverse has gone on what on full suspension for what for planned share reconstruction for today. And the share price of chemical allied product and Dangote sugar were also adjusted this morning for what for 1 naira 25 kobo and 1 naira dividend, as recommended by their shareholder respectively. These are the market news as we speak. But we need to go to the market now and see. As we speak now, market is down again. No, market is trading around the yes, market is marginally down as we speak. No, you can see it here around the 52,700 and the 52,700 and the okay, that's I guess it's 700 and around 700 and 90 something is trading for now, losing about 60.2 representing about 0.08% at this hour for 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 the market, and we're still having a negative market breadth as we speak now. We're having 13 stocks, on the loser chart, and we have just only five at the gainer start. And the top losers at this hour one is this global status PLC and the international brewery, no MPF Police Microfinance, Linkage Assurance, and Niger Insurance. These are the top losers at this hour out of the 13 losers. If you go to the other side, no, the gainers as we speak now are very few. It's led by MC Nichols, that's Mark Nichols, postulated PSC, followed by PZ Person. These are the one gaining. Then Mutual Benefit and the NACO. These are the NACO, and the last one there is a Jaco Good. These are the stocks that are gaining at this hour. But I won't finish this state of the market without looking at what the top trade. The top trade as we speak now is Zenith Bank is leading in volume. You can see trading around the 3 naira this morning, followed by GT Code, UBA, and Access Corp. These are the ones that are followed by also NACO. These are the top trade stock in terms of volume at this hour. For me, it's a good one. You can see that the banking stock or financial sector are the one dominating the 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 top for the what we call it top trade in terms of volume. For me, it's a good one. For quick one, want to look at these stocks individually. Want to look at what is happening in Zenith. Zenith is selling around the 23 GTB. Look at what is happening Access PZ. Then we'll now check also what is happening in NACO. Now, if we're able to cover all this one, this five before our time is fast spent. Look at what is happening in Zenith Bank, GT Code, Access Bank, and NACO and PZ. Let's check if their chart out to know the position of this company before we move on to close for the day. But if you look at this line, this is the what we call the index action, which is the all share index. You can see as we speak now, it's pulling back here. But we want to call up our indicators to let us know the position of the market. We must use our T line. I told you that the T line is what is the moving average, 8 days moving average exponential. That is the T line. You want to know exactly what is happening in the market, but it will give you an insight exactly what to do with your position. Let's quickly look at them. Then we'll now call it a day at this hour. We'll call it a day at this moment so that we'll know exactly what we are doing. Let's look at the T lines. It's very, very important. The T line, then the money flow, then these are what we should also look at this hour. Our T line, we change it to what? Our 8 days is very, very important. You can see here that this is the T line here. If you are seeing the blue line here, the T line is telling us that the market is still below what? The T line. The 8 days moving average exponential, which is the blue line here, market is still below it. It's a sign of weakness. Yes, we can see that market is already on a decline phase. Now, after making an uptrend for 3 days, you can see it last week. You can see for almost for Monday to date, market is still trending down. Profit taking and also reaction to rate hike and see it playing out. But I'll tell you, this should not panic. Just know your position where you have made profit, take profit, and also wait to see the key numbers we are looking at will tell us a lot of information. These key numbers we're expecting in the market is the purchasing managers index from CBN, and also we're looking at to see the consumer price index from Bureau of Statistics. This was going to give us exactly, and also it's going to also form the decision that to know the state of the economy and also what investor will be looking at to hedge against inflation. All this will be playing out when this figure come. That's why you need to also know kind of stock you are buying. Like I always emphasize that in this kind of rate rising and environment, we're seeing inflation looking up, we're seeing interest rate looking up. You need to look for how you can buy into commodity bags or to hedge against inflation, and sectors that you can also hedge against inflation you can use to earn your return will be above inflation.